afternoon. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for February 7th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern. You can imagine that it seems like a lot of us, we wait for something amazing to happen. And again, that's external for all of us. It isn't, it's like you're waiting for, there's a lot of people waiting for something amazing to happen. And ironically enough, each of us are the miracle we are seeking. And if we understood that perfectly, consciously, in our own way, we wouldn't have to look any further than our own breath and our own heartbeat. And I know that the majority of the civilization is always seeking happiness out there. A lot of us are seeking happiness out there. And that causes us to miss the divine being that is within us right now. So, it's interesting, if you ever, you have a beverage, whether it's, an alcoholic beverage or just a regular beverage, and you want to toast, you might want to toast to you. You might want to toast to you. Here is a toast to me. And that's a good feeling when you do that, because you're acknowledging more and more the perfection that you truly are. And you feel this, you experience that vibrational frequency, right? The warmth and starting with the heart and throughout the whole body, so it goes out in a circular path, like a stone dropping in a very clear lake. And it's quite enlightening to experience. And you do it with genuineness and without feeling discomforted or uncomfortable or, that sounds kind of strange to toast to myself. Now, what the heck would I want to do that for? And see, a lot of us understand that we have these little wrinkles that we've acquired in this life, and they aren't quite ironed out yet. And the wrinkles are caused by, again, our external influences as we're growing up and the things that we experience. Now, everything that we experience is an absolute adventure for us. But obviously, a lot of us don't look at it that way, depending on what it is that we do experience. And as we begin to slowly, methodically view our landscape within us, we start to realize that the externalism out there, constantly seeking things out there, causes so much more frustration and stress, because we get impatient, and then we don't have it, and then we get to a point where we get exasperated. Why isn't this happening? I'm doing all the right things. Why isn't it working? And that very frequency that we express literally invites or brings in more of that which we do not care to interact with. So if we become more and more excited, upset type thing, and we do not understand that Why am I looking outside here? Why am I looking for this? What is the reason for me to be seeking so incessantly happiness and outside of me? Doesn't it make any sense to us when we are looking inside of ourselves, that the happiness that we all seek, and we all do at one time, shape, form, or another, we seek the happiness, but we're seeking it outside of ourselves. How can you find happiness outside of yourselves? Now, you can have a catalyst, something that occurs outside of you that you then begin to experience some joy and happiness, but that's because the frequency connects with who and what you are, and it comes alive, and it comes to the surface from within you, not from outside in. The only way that you get, and the happiness that we do experience, like if you're interacting with someone and you feel a happiness, a joy, it is because they're connecting with you. The God within them is connecting with the God within you, and vice versa. That's where the happiness actually is. The externalism for us is confusing for a lot of people, because the happiness that we experience from getting something or doing something is short-lived. It's like when a child, and I think we all remember this, when a child gets a toy that they really wanted, and they're just absolutely elated with that toy, and they're happy and excited, and they play with it, play with it, play with it, play with it, play with it. Then eventually, the novelty of the toy and the happiness of the toy wears off. It's just not as impactful anymore until they have something else. And then, of course, they have short-term happiness because of that thing or article or whatever it may be that generated, touched within them a happiness. See, we've been taught that you seek and you shall find. But that goes both ways. If you seek within, you shall find. But seeking, the civilization was taught to seek out there, and you shall find. Every time that any one of us throughout the ages has gone out to seek out the truth, what is everything all about? They end up finding the truth within themselves. You see? That's when they absolutely find the true meaning of life. And many, many, many have gone throughout the ages. They have given up relationships and everything to just spend their whole existence in their bodies seeking the truth. And they always have ended up, the few that did, always ended up coming full round and discovering that the truth is you. It's within you. And so we all incessantly, because of how we are trained in this, on this world, how we have been, and now we're becoming consciously aware that that isn't our true selves. And in a higher frequency, because as you increase your frequency, you enter into higher dimension. That's it, period. There's just no other way, okay? And a lot of us are in fifth dimension, 5 density. And everything around you changes, but you aren't aware of it at first. So this is what we're talking about. Everything is from within, not out. But we were taught that it's all out there. It's out there. Go, my son, and seek out there. Now, it gets a little confusing for some people, because the way we're wired in these physical bodies, and we have all these senses. We have our sight, We have our hearing. We have our speech. We have our smell, our sense of smell, and we have our touch. All of these different feelings that we interact with in a physical way on this planet. Touching, smelling, tasting, seeing, hearing, speaking, all of these things. And a lot of the times we take them all for granted, which is pretty average for all of us. We do. I mean, we take our speech for granted. We take our sight for granted, until something happens, and then we become frightened and fearful of losing it. So, people have asked me, well, why should I, constantly be grateful for such stupid little things, for my toenails or for my fingers or for my nose and the nostrils to breathe through the nose and my lungs and all of that. Why would I have, that just seems like a waste of time. I have it, so I use it. It's not the point. The point is for us to embrace and love and respect everything. Now, I'm not saying that for some that isn't an insurmountable. I'm saying it's quite challenging for some because of where they're at with them. See? It's being really in a wonderful relationship, in a loving understanding and a total forgiving and surrendering to yourself and the God within you. And a lot of these meditations have helped and assist people, but they choose to engage it. It's not, so the respect is with themselves, and they choose to engage those things, choose to be in the highest of deepest gratitudes. Because when we're in that, and we choose to be in that, everything changes for us. It is an automatic. It doesn't change when you do it once in a great while. It changes when you are literally focused on the fact on how deeply grateful you are. And it's not, you're not talking about desperation or expecting to get something from being that way, because that's ego mind. When you bring up something that you've done for somebody or something like that, that is the ego mind taking charge. So when we do things, like for ourselves, for being deeply grateful, it's not because we're expecting that, well, if I do this, then I'm going to get a flood of all kinds of wonderful things. So that's why I'm going to do it. And some people do that. Now, the truth in the matter is that we're grateful because we are. We're deeply grateful because we are. That, it's really interesting how we take this physical experience so much for granted. When we're kids, we don't think about that. We're just really, super excited and just taking in everything like a massive sponge. Everything that's said, every noise, every sight, everything, it's like all new. And that's kind of a gratitude, a gratefulness because of the exuberation that children experience. We all have been children in little bodies, so we've all experienced it. Okay? So there really isn't any exception. Even children that have had, bumpiness, they, in the beginning, when they came into those baby bodies, they were elated, for the most part, except those who remember the past life. So when we literally say to ourselves, I am of the highest of deepest gratitudes, you will know that it is sincere for yourselves and genuine, when you feel lightened, when you feel released, when you feel an ease that comes in. And, when we do this, we feel it. We know the difference. And also, when we say it from the ego mind, we know the difference. Because we don't have the same vibrational frequency as if we project it through the heart mind. And have people say, well, how do you know the difference? It's blank. It carries no depth to it. It is just a statement. And a lot of us are tricked into doing that. We make, we make that statement. So when we make that statement, we just think, okay, so I've done it. I've done my duty for myself for the day, and I've said I'm deeply, the highest, deepest gratitudes. And what happens is that we don't have that. We don't experience that frequency. It's not there. It's kind of like blah, But when we do it through the heart mind and we do it with passion, it is a whole different frequency. And we know because it vibrates with us. And we realize that there is a difference. When you become conscious of the difference, you're well on your way to becoming the master and commander. Because you will know that, okay, I'm going through my ego mind, nothing wrong with that, but I've decided to go through my heart mind. So when I give gratitude to myself, it is through the heart mind. It is not through the ego mind. And we all know what the ego mind is. We're not saying it's a bad, horrible thing. We're saying that it cannot be left in charge. It just cannot be left in charge. Okay? We must operate from the heart mind. Even a lot of gurus throughout the centuries found themselves getting trapped and caught up in the ego mind and pulling them out of their heart mind and out of their center, the God. So, when we should think about this and ask ourselves, why are we waiting for anything? Why don't we stop waiting for something amazing to happen? Because we realize that we're the miracle. We literally are the miracle we're seeking. We are not needing to wait for anything. We are every single intention that we make through our heart minds, it sets energy into motion. And it's whether you are conscious of it or not. Whether you are conscious of it or not. So when you realize that, and it's finite, you're very careful about it, maneuvering it. So this is why a lot of us experience in this life things that seem to come out of nowhere. None of us are exempt from that. We all experience that, where things come out of nowhere. You're just kind of going along and you're managing life and you're doing the best you can, and all of a sudden these things show up and you go, why is this happening to me? What did I do so wrong to deserve this? We make all kinds of statements to ourselves. And it is kind of laughter. It's kind of hilarious for ourselves to say, son of a gun, I must have literally generated this generated this unconsciously because that's the only way it could have showed up. See? But what do? We have kind of a habit of saying doom and gloom, something's doing this to me. Bad luck, or something's just not right here. And then, of course, the ego mind takes over, and we all know the rest is history. So understand something for yourselves. Every single intention sets energy into motion. Period. And it doesn't matter if you're conscious of it or not, it is setting it into motion. So, unconsciously, you are literally engaging and creating and manifesting things that you are not consciously aware of. This is where all these surprises come from. See? And it's kind of, for many people, it's very difficult to understand it and to open up that secret, and why this civilization is so miscombobulated. It's because that their unconsciousness is engaging intentions that are setting energy into motion, which means that it is created into reality, into your life. Every single thought that you embrace, that you bring into reality, it happens unconsciously as much as in fact, more unconsciously than it does consciously for a lot of people in this civilization. This is why it is so important that when we do decide on our own, in our own way, to engage into the journey within and to start to understand who and what we are, it begins to unfold for us. The pieces of the puzzle start falling into place. And then we start to realize, holy cow, now, when I am conscious and I set into motion that I intend, and that intention consciously that I set out, it sets the energy into motion, and it brings it into fruition. It brings it from an energy into motion, which then creates a reality in your life. So when that happens, you also you start to realize, oh, now I understand. I am unconsciously, literally, with unconscious intentions, I am setting energy into motion, and it ends up bringing it into fruition. It brings it into reality. It creates it into reality. And the universe is literally taking it verbatim from you. And so you literally, most of us are blindsided through this life on different fronts and occasions because of not knowing that we're doing that. You see how that can really play a real snafu on some of us as we maneuver these lives, as we journey, as we embrace the adventures? Because it is an absolute that each and every one of us, in each and every moment of these lives that we are in now, we are creating something. It is not debatable. Always inventing, always designing, always devising, and magnetically creating and bringing into reality and manifesting the circumstances, challenging situations, and the types of people in our lives. unconscious of our natural manifesting powers. We just live our lives thinking that everything is coincidental and only just randomly occurring to us. And you know what? That is absolutely false. It couldn't be more radically opposite and outrageously different. And here's the kicker for all of us. We are the inventors of our entire reality. If you can see it, it's like the motion picture in your heart-mind. We're like an unending movie projector that is constantly playing out the film scrolling inside of us. And whatever film we watch is what we end up attracting and creating more of in our lives. That is an absolute. We are unstoppable machines manifesting, creating, intending, moving the frequencies and the energies into reality. And you know what? These machines that we are could never stop manifesting even if you wanted to. And it's whether you're manifesting what you want or what you don't want. It depends on how conscious each and every one of us are in this moment, in the now. And it also depends on the frequency, as I've talked about repeatedly, of our vibration. And that is ultimately determined by your level of consciousness. And you know what? It is inevitability. What you are intending tomorrow stems from what you are experiencing right now. All of our futures is impacted by the sum total of all the thoughts, feelings, and experiences we've had up until today. All the things that our fathers, mothers, siblings, friends, coworkers, and bosses have said to us throughout our life are still inside of us, like a data in a computer chip. And what we do with this information in this moment, in this now, is what will determine the level of energy that each and every one of us vibrate at, and all of the experiences that we will manifest in the future. And perhaps one of the most important pieces of any of this information is to digest here. Is the knowing that you always have the power, always, to create any interpretation of reality you desire or want at any time. You can change your very existence, your life, around by simply shifting how you perceive it. Your words are the greatest power you will ever have, and the words you choose to use establish the life you experience. And that came from Sonia Croquette. You can shape-shift your reality whenever you deem it. You can shape-shift your reality whenever you deem it. When you're aware that unconsciously you are literally creating, you are setting energy in motion with unconscious intentions. We are literally doing this 24/7. Yes, even when you are in slumber. And it is time that we begin to understand and embrace this all the way around, 360 degrees. And this is, it's innate in us. It is our natural state of being. It isn't something that we have to force. It isn't something that we have to push, manipulate. It is an innateness within us. Every single intention is set into motion. And the energy starts moving and creating and materializing into our lives. Think about that. So, in this meditation, our words are the greatest power we have. Whether we say them to ourselves or we say them out in the open. They are vibrational frequencies that create. Period. All right? I don't care how tough someone thinks they are. I don't care how powerful they think they are. It doesn't matter. The words are, in this body, in this life, your words are the greatest power you have. So every time you use the words, you are creating. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be erupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we want to do is relax our bodies. Relax the body. I just went through the understanding that you literally can create anything you desire. So, how do you relax the body? Don't let anything that isn't of high frequency stay with you. And this isn't done in violence or frustration or irritation. It is done with deep eternal love and deep eternal gratitude. So you just let it go. What am I holding on to today? Why am I, how am I doing? How am I feeling? How are things going for me? Period. And you just let it go. Anything that's disruptive, anything that's irritable, irritation, worry, you just walk through it. Face it and say, hi, how you doing? Great to see you. I don't need you. Bye. And the body will respond. Because you know what? I can almost guarantee each and every one of you that the body will just be so much in joy that it is in a natural, relaxed state. So you let everything go. Many of us carry too much tightness. That's why our bodies are not as relaxed as they could be. You know what tightness is? It's fighting ourselves constantly. You have the image of the past standing in front of you. It's hitting you, swinging at you. You're in return swinging and hitting at it. And you're both facing off day in, day out, week after week, month after month, year after year. And neither of you are there to give any ground. And it's an incessant fighting within. And you just let it go. You step out of your own way. And you move forward. Body responds, relaxes. We move into the now. The now is everything. It is the past, the present, and the future. Do we care, really, truly, knowing what we know, to go into the past, open up the room, the subconscious mind, roll all of our pack luggage that we've stored there for years, and just really roll it right into the future, unpack it, and relive it? Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't. So what is the past is the past. We learned what we learned, and we move into the now. And the now is where we create our future. In this very moment, in this very now, is where we are setting energy into motion. We are literally setting energy into motion. And guess what that's doing? Right now, every single one of us, we are creating, and things will materialize what you are now, in this now, intending. Every thought. You cannot not. It is what we are. We are creating machines. So what, the relaxing of the body and into the now and understanding what that means for each and every one of us, for yourself. It stills the mind. It quiets the ego mind and the subconscious mind, and it puts us in a place of quietness. There's no buzzing and humming and incessant chatter. And this sets us into being at ease. And then we want to breathe. We want to breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing is so important for our bodies and for us while we're in them. So we breath in through the nose. And as we breath in, we take a nice, healthy inhale through the nose. And we hold it for a brief period of time. And we use the words, the vibrational frequency, to represent that by saying, I am love, I am light. Or, I am love, I am light, I am. I am love, I am light, I am. And then we exhale. Nice and easy, out the mouth, breath out. You want to do this at least 6 times while I'm talking. The breathing helps us focus on the now. It cannot be anywhere else. It's only in the now. So when you focus on your breathing, you will absolutely know you are in the now. Without a doubt. When you want to center yourself, you want to just focus yourself. When you want to go within, focus on your breathing, your breathing. It's very powerful. You don't need anybody to tell you. You'll kick in automatically. You'll get to the point where you'll automatically know. A little off kilter here. I'm a little off track. I must focus on my breathing. I choose to focus on my breathing, my breathing. And you will. And it'll end up becoming automatic. Now, as we breath in, we're breathing in divine positive energy. We're of the highest frequency. We were made from source creation out of pure, deep, eternal love. And we are perfection. So doesn't it make sense that as we breath in, we're breathing in divine positive energy? Because as we breath in, it sustains the body. It focuses us. It relaxes us. It calms us. It keeps us in the now so we can continually create our future. It is super powerful. So the divine positive energy comes from all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. It comes from the collective consciousness of this planet Earth, Gaia. the collective consciousness of all that there is. It comes in through the gods that we are, in through the heart-mind, not the ego-mind. It goes in through the heart-mind, and it is a vibrational frequency that we take in, and it's a knowing that we communicate with. And one of the greatest powers we have while in these bodies is our words. Our words are one of the greatest powers we have. Because every word you use is an intention which sets energy into motion. Think about that. Every word you use is an intention which sets energy into motion. Every word. Now, as we breath out the regular external belief that, all of this is just a bunch of hooey, and we, shouldn't pay much attention to it at all. And that is the alternative frequency of the ego mind. And the nice thing about this is that when we know about that, and I think we all do, doesn't mean we have totally perfected the understanding of it yet, but to know it is very powerful. And we just basically very softly and kindly say, I love you, but you're not in charge. Now, we obviously vibrate in the frequency through the heart mind. We also are merged with the God or the kingdom of God within us. And with us are others. We're never alone. We'll never be alone. For instance, we have all of the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, all of the angels. This is a civilization that vibrates just at a different frequency. That's all. Doesn't make them more powerful than us. Doesn't make them more, better than us or anything. And they all vibrate, of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest of deepest gratitudes. And we will begin to see them more and more and interact with them more and more on equal existence. There are literally trillions of them, and thousands at a time surround each and every one of us. They don't take up the space as we know it in physical form. And we have the ascended masters: Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, Moria, Abundantia, Pell, Thought, and many, many, many more. And they have ascended out of body. Their gods are out of their bodies. They don't maintain physical bodies. They are God. Just like we are all God. We are mastering because we have ascended into body. They have mastered many times. Sometimes they can come back into body to get some things taken care of. Consciously aware of this. So all of us gathered in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light, we form a circle, a halo, a brilliant light of source creation. Arm in arm, hand in hand. The light is so brilliant that with our eyes we couldn't stare upon it because it is that bright, brighter than the brightest sun. And so it is the gods within us that create this brilliant light, this high, high, high frequency of the deepest eternal love and gratitude. And so as we do this, we encase the planet, we encase ourselves. It's like a gossamer field. It cannot be penetrated by low frequencies. It just cannot be done. You cannot take a low frequency and have it sustain its field in the highest of high frequencies. It cannot and will not survive. We have the emerald green flaming healing light to remind us of our healing power. We have the violet blue purple flaming light of Archangel Raphael, of Archangel Michael, of Archangel Raphael with the green light of Archangel Michael with the violet blue purple flaming light. These are all reminders for us. They are carriers of these frequencies, these energies, to remind us what makes us up. The purple transmuting flame, it allows us to eliminate all low, dense frequencies that we care not to have attached to us. We transmute them all into neutralized substance, and we basically send them back to source creation. We then bring in the violet ray, our power of being able to cleanse and purify all areas that have been violated or have had attachments of low frequencies. White fire, an impenetrable field of the highest of deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal loves. It protects us always. Golden white pink light of love, of God, of source creation, of Mother, Father God, the masculine, feminine, of Prime Source Creator God, all of which have been created by source creation, by consciousness. And so the only way that we can literally be harmed in any way is because we open up our front door by lowering our frequency and invite all of the low frequencies in. It is our choice. Now we decide we just step outside the body as we levitate higher and higher and move higher and higher up above the planet, Earth, Gaia. And as we do this, we float above the head. It's where all of the flow of source comes in, 24/7, non-stop, since we're all part of source creation. It's wonderful vibrational bathing, showering. And as we do this, we're compelled. We call out to the other source creations, other brothers and sisters. All of the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And only those who are the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, benevolence, and tranquility. And they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills the entire universe. They come into billions and trillions of Gugaplexes from every direction. And arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we're all one. And we're all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, beneath earth, all of these civilizations. There are many. And only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-negativity, non-ego, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one. And we are all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon the galactics. All these off-worlders. There are many. Just to name a few, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Syrians, the Pleiadians, many, many, many more. And only those who vibrate at the highest of high frequencies, of the highest of deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love, the highest of deepest gratitudes, can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, joy, bliss, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the billions, and they have been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one. We are all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes we've inhabited. And only those that vibrate of the highest frequency, of the highest and deepest eternal love, from the highest of deepest eternal love, and the highest of deepest gratitudes, can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one, and we are all love, and our God-light energy is everywhere. We call upon all of the light energies decided to be housed in the following forms on and in, above and below this planet Earth Gaia, in this now, in this circle of light, this meditation. Just to name a few of them, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the Pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. Only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love, from the highest, deepest, eternal love, and the highest and deepest gratitudes in those high frequencies can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the trillions, colors, shapes, sizes, forms, configurations, of which we have never, ever seen before. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. Our gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one. And we are all love. And our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. It lifts the very fabric of creation. Its intentions move energy, push it and move it into motion. It is lifting and constantly flooding and saturating all that there is with the highest of deepest eternal loves from the highest, deepest eternal loves and the highest of deepest gratitude. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. We created this sphere. It's that center circle. It houses all of our meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. It can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. All of those meditations in perpetual motion. All of them manifesting. All of the intentions setting energy into motion. Creating reality into the now. We can feel it as it floods us. It is a vibrational frequency of the highest high, of that which we were created, of the highest of deepest eternal love, of source creation, of that which we came from, of that which we are, the consciousness of all things, of all existence, of all creation. We are everything. We are everything. And our words are the greatest power, one of the greatest powers that we have. And whatever we dwell on intensely and with firm resolve is exactly what we become. No matter what influences are coming at you from externality, you're the one. Each and every one of us are the one. We are part of the whole. we are all one. We have unlimited power. Source creation, consciousness of all, has outfitted us with everything we will ever, ever, ever need. We look down upon this planet, Earth Gaia. We see all life. We see all of our brothers and sisters, all of the ones, on and above and below this planet Earth Gaia. They are being constantly flooded. As we lift the fabric of vibrational frequency into the highest of highest high frequencies, they too are affected. All of us, everyone on and above and below this planet Earth Gaia, whose intentions are for the greatest good of the highest of highest high frequencies, are creating a God planet where we, in higher dimensional frequencies, will continue to ascend. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. imperative that we choose to take this with us as a deeper understanding and comprehension of who and what we are. All that we have ever seeked outside of ourselves is within us. There is nothing more we require to enjoy a blissful, happy, abundant life existence. Take it with you the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. You're going to have a health call on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is, let's see, today is the 7th, Friday, so it's 8, 9, the 10th of February 2020. On this line, health call, we're going to cover the synergy of all the Fulmina products, how they interact, what the meaning is of these formulas, how the long-term effects are absolutely subtle and yet super powerful. We're going to cover other avenues, why we have connected all of these health applications. There is a reason. So that call will be Monday, February 10th, 2020, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be back here February 8th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue the global guided meditation calls.